And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, as we all begin this Wednesday morning. And I had to ask Odie earlier, is it Wednesday? Because this week is like moving quick, fast.
It's not just Wednesday. It's hump day.
That it is, Odie.
Halfway through, Friday's coming. Just hang in there.
53 this morning as you're getting up. And I suggested a moment ago, make sure to open your front door, walk out, have a cup of coffee out back, because it absolutely feels wonderful there.
Diane
Pittsburgh
says,
joining us.
Happy hump day from East Tennessee.
Ain't nothing quite
And
like it.
Erica's always with us every morning from Pittsburgh. She comes and joins in. She's, I believe you said from Clark County, if I'm not mistaken, Erica, in the Enterprise area.
Yeah.
And she likes to pay attention. What's going on? This is home, she said. So.
As we get our day underway, we brought up this little subject yesterday. And again, I haven't read every document. I don't know everything. But Matt Gaetz, the guy that is up for a nomination from Trump, who everybody's been giving a hard time to, and I made that comment yesterday that if that boy was guilty, because they've been after him 2 to 3 years, and they could have proved it, he would be in jail. You remember us talking about that?
Yeah, and they're trying to do everything in the world.
Here's my point on this. Apparently, The View yesterday opened up a can, one of those big cans there, and jumped out after him, and they cut to commercial. And then they come back. The legal team had stepped in.
Told them,
have you heard about this?
No.
Here's the statement that they had to read, and I don't know the co-host of you. I never watch it.
You know one of them, don't you?
Yeah, Whoopi.
Yeah.
And the rumor is they're looking for more co-hosts to change this around because the ratings are not what they used to be. But the statement that had to be said was this, and they said the woman had such a disgruntled look on her face when she had to say it. And this is what the attorneys made her say. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, uninvented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that the false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. The Department of Investigations was closed with no charges being brought against him. The closing line is it. No charges were brought. Now, could there something happened? And I don't know. We don't know.
They didn't find the proof.
Yeah, they did not charge the man.
They could not charge him. And we got somebody that could probably fill us in on some ins and outs of an investigation, and how.
But at the end of the day,
why not you can't find something?
He's not found guilty of this, and they keep on with it.
Well, supposedly he's coming out with a book or something that's going to be like a tell-all. And a lot of people are not real happy with...
Does it have his credit card receipts in it?
I don't think it's going to be a tell-all on him. But it's going to be interesting to see.
Too many episodes of 2.5 Men we watched when Charlie was on there. I gave it up after that. As we mentioned, let's take a look at his face over there. Look at there. There's the sheriff. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
How you been?
Absolutely wonderful. You're right. It was great. I walked outside this morning. I was like, I almost didn't want to come inside when I got here. I said, I can hang around out in the yard. We could do a remote from the front yard.
Boy, and it makes you remember deer season, gun season is getting ready to open up. There's going to be a lot of folks headed to the deer camp this weekend. Be on the lookout. And what does that mean? Deer are going to be stirred up and trying to prance on top of your car.
They're already, you seeing them on the side of the roads. And this time of year, people got to really think about that. Maybe slow down a little bit in the evenings, especially early in the morning.
Deputies are busy with
Well, we have a lot of, calls. We ought to find some wood, as they say, and start knocking on it. We hadn't hit one yet this year, but that's generally, we had about 5 years ago or so, 4 or 5 years ago, we hit like 5 deer, like within, I don't remember, 4 or 5 days. I mean, it's like
tore up some stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, put 2-3 cars down. It is very
Speaking of,
frustrating.
Did I see one of your deputy cars getting a trailer hitch hooked to it behind that SMI this week so they could haul the horses to round up those goats and stuff that get out on?
That's a great idea, and the committee is still meeting on that, and we haven't made any decisions yet. You know, the great thing about our county is that we have this incredible Lima director who's a resource for us for those things that we need that we don't normally do.
They call with some stuff.
So we'll let him go and herd up goats. That's
I was speaking yesterday to Livingston, and I got a text, and it was a picture of the goat again. Goat's out.
Yeah.
It seems to be almost an everyday occurrence in Meridian, is what we're joking about. And sometimes it gets joined by its friends, the cows and the horses.
Yeah.
People would find it interesting, I'm sure, that our dispatchers, the ones that have been there for a while, they generally, when the call comes in, they look at the map or in their head and they go, okay, that's going to be Farmer Bob's cow.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you
We're already
kind of
calling.
know who to call. Not always, but lots of times. Of course, you know, a lot of those folks that do cattle or, have animals, that kind of thing, they help each other out. They're neighbors, and so, they'll go get it no matter if it's theirs or not.
Mississippi law, because I've heard 2 or 3 different stories, and I know you know this. If your cow gets out, are you responsible if someone were to bump it, or is it car?
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I know what you're talking about. I've had those conversations, and I really don't know 100%. I think most of the time when that happens, people tend to not claim
That's
that
not
cow.
my cow.
That's not my cow. Yeah.
I don't know where it come from.
And I don't know the answer to that.
I will say, if a cow gets out and you hit it with your truck, the owner of that cow has to pay for your truck.
That's what I was leaning to.
Now, the reason I know that is because it was my truck that hit the cow.
Okay. When did this happen?
Back in 1988.
It's been a spell or two
It's
there,
been a
Eddie.
spell or two. Yeah, well, I actually hit like 4 of them.
I remember I was a kid. I will never forget this. And I was just east of Scuba. We were coming back from Alabama, and I was riding with a guy. And there's like 20 people in the road going like this, and the guy driving just keeps right on going. Bam, we hit a cow. I'm like,
Yeah, that was-
dude, did you not just see everybody in the road?
That might have been his fault. It was April 1st, 1988. And the reason I remember it being April 1st is because when I called Mom and Daddy at 11 o'clock at night.
Didn't go over
waiting
well, huh?
From my friend's house, they said, all right, well, it's April Fool's. He didn't hit no cow. He done run off in a ditch. And when they got there, they realized, no, he hit
Hit cow.
like 4 cows. And this was right over by your old place, right across the street from the church there on State Boulevard Extension. And, yeah. So
It happens, and y'all watch that. And again, there's a reason that I always put cow alerts out and goat alerts, because we don't want you sitting in your front seat with you.
They're dangerous if you're riding in a little car.
It's very dangerous. We'll be right back as this morning gets underway. Already 9 minutes after the hour. Lots coming up here. We'll tell you about a few trees that fell and, well, some things that went on in the area yesterday.
Here at Meridian Cycles, customer service is our #1 priority. And when you buy any Polaris, Can-Am, Honda, CF Moto, or Suzuki ATV or side-by-side, we're going to give you your first oil change absolutely free, because we service everything we sell here at Meridian Cycles. Come see us at 80 Highway 19 North, or call us 601-485-8700. Come see us.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real steel. Find yours.
Good morning and
here
welcome
we
back.
are.
Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. And sad news is we go to our leading story this morning. I'll call it our leading story because it needs to be talked about.
This is a staple in Meridian. Was, yeah.
And we'll word it that way. As we have seen crime within the city skyrocket under the new administration. I'll just call it the way it is. And that would be our current mayor is crime, crime, crime. And we hardly hear from them or see from them. We found out this morning that Peaks is going to be closing. Peaks Barber and Style Shop will officially close on Saturday, November the 30th. Why? They were robbed. Gunpoint. I was there right after it. 2 men came in with guns and robbed them. They can't have this. Now, no one was hurt, but crime. How many businesses have been claimed to crime within the city? It's been a lot. There's some that probably never told anybody why they closed. They just went on about
Went
their
ahead
way.
and closed the doors. I got a good friend.
We don't
Thumper,
have-
who works there. That
They're good
now,
people.
You know. Oh yeah, every one of them up there, Mr. Peaks.
And you know, and I think about this as we go to 5th Street in Meridian. We think of that store Cameron's that sits there. We think of the Exxon there. It's time and time again they get robbed. You got to remember your profit level on something. You may make 30 cents off of this. You may make 3 cents off gas. When you lose money like that, it takes a long time to recoup to get back on your feet. It's like having your 2 or 3 paychecks if at a normal job taken away from you if you're a business owner when that happens.
Well, you
And
turn around and the
stumble.
insurance company say, you know what, we're just not going to insure you anymore. You're too high of a risk. So we're not going to insure you anymore. So now what do? You can't get insurance. And you can't keep eating the cost.
Yep. I've talked to several business owners about, especially tobacco stores. They hardly ever get insured anymore because there's such targets there. But again, if you're just tuning in, call half of that. Let me pull that picture back up here. Peaks. This is right off of the Highway 39 bypass. This would be back behind O'Reilly Auto Center and directly behind, I guess you could say, the old Subway and Bonita Auto.
Hall's, right behind Dr. Hall's chiropractor,
Yeah.
which is not there anymore. The building's gone, but it was directly behind it. Right there on the far end was the armored car in Meridian's office.
Yeah, they got robbed. No, I'm joking. I'm joking about that. Ward, tell me this. Didn't your deputies go out to Minnow Bucket Road yesterday for this little boo-boo here?
Well, every now and then a tree in the county will fall across the road.
That was a big old tree.
It is.
And you don't realize just how much Minnow Bucket Road is traveled until you can't go down it.
Right.
So-
You know, and the trees in on that particular road are pretty close to the edge of the road. It seems like, you know, not everywhere, but and I
Yeah.
know that's the case on a lot of roads. But I always think of when I drive down, it just seems so narrow for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, you get a big tree like that could ruin your day coming around a corner, especially on wet roads.
And y'all think of this now. We got gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour today. It's going to be very windy. So
I was just
Saturated
fixing to say we're going to have
Yep.
more down probably later today. You know,
Saturated grounds
Yep.
are not helping with the high winds.
if you were near Subway on North Frontage Road in the overnight hours and you think, hey, what's that barbecue going over there? It was not. It was a car on fire. I hadn't talked to Nick yet this morning, but somebody's car, they had a leak on their gas tank. And it was cutting, and they pulled over on the side of the road and it went whoof. Meridian Fire Department showed up to put that out. Again, that's North Frontage Road before you get to Sac and say that area right there on North Front, past New South Ford, is where that was down at Subway. No injuries, but it did not make somebody's day good either.
Well, you had a wreck. I think it was yesterday that people started wanting to know how you got all that set up and got everything put together the way it was, because you had 2 Kias that ran into each other. And the live broadcast was sponsored by Kia. And it happened right beside the Kia dealership. So it was
It was a Kia moment.
It was a Kia moment.
Are you staging? Is this insurance fraud? Do I need to read you your rights? Have you got something going on there?
Is this the one you're talking about here?
I believe that's it. 2 Kias.
Let's look at this. This was last night right there by Kia,
Okay, it was last night, wasn't it?
and we spin around. Yeah, there's one Kia. And then we're going to go back here to I think that is another Kia back. Maybe it looks similar to one. Guardrails messed up. We see that the highway department's got something to do.
Yeah, that's another Kia.
So, and that's what was going on last night. That whole right lane was blocked there. And I think in the end what it was a medical emergency that caused it. Somebody had a medical emergency and they veered off the road and struck someone else. And things like that will happen from time to time.
It does.
So that's what went on there. Sheriff, what are you doing this morning?
Well,
I'm sure
here-
that you got a reason we hadn't asked you.
Exactly. So I'm here today to talk about the Magnolia Cemetery Beautification and Improvement Fund. That sounded fun, didn't
That's
it?
long. Yeah.
That is long. Almost too long to be able to remember. But there's been a group of folks in our community that have ties to our community that about a year ago they started. I just recently got asked to participate, and they began to look at our Magnolia Cemetery, which Magnolia Cemetery has over 15,000 people buried there, and it touches near about everybody in our community either has a family member buried there or they have some connection, a friend, whatever. There's some ties. And it's our largest cemetery in our community. It's a little over 125 years old. It's been the subject of a lot of conversations over the last 5 to 8 years at various times. And but this group came together and said that it's time to do some improvements at the cemetery. I kind of liken it to a foundation that helps, like you have a college football. Foundations helps pay for things that they just don't have the money or can't spend tax dollars on. And this isn't an exact situation, but it's the same idea. So a foundation was set up to to solicit funds to do specific things to beautify the cemetery. And what has been identified in that cemetery, if anybody that's been to a funeral anytime in the last 10 or 15 years will readily recognize how bad the roads are within the cemetery. And so a committee was put together, and they've developed a plan and to fix the roads inside the cemetery in order to make it a better place for people to come to funerals and those kind of things, and to keep the cemetery up. So the plan right now is they have to this point raised close to $60,000. And then received from the state. And I'm no cemetery expert, but there's a perpetual fund that all of these cemeteries are supposed to have. And that money gets put into those funds when they do a percentage of when they open graves, as they call it, when you have a funeral and they dig the hole, of the family, the person doing that owns that plot, part of that percentage of that goes in that perpetual fund. Well, what's happened over the years, not just to Magnolia, but to lots of cemeteries, it's just not enough money. That fund was designed more to cut grass and those kind of things, not really to do these kind of capital improvements that many of them need. So this foundation was set up in order to, again, get donations to do that. So the plan right now is, and they've gotten $100,000 from the perpetual fund to go toward the roads, raised somewhere close to 60. We're really trying to get another 40,000. We'd like to have a total of 200,000 by the middle of January. And the reason we're doing that is because we had a plan that went from a phase 3 to 2 phases. And this first plan, if we can get this money raised, is to have all the holes fixed and to have the roads, I'm going to use the word planed, graded off, flattened, ready for pavement to be done within the next few years. Because then again, we're going to turn around and raise the money for the pavement. I mean, pavement's expensive. It's not.
The 200 is going to pretty much
fix the
fill
base.
all your potholes, get that level, and then kind of scrape off the entire, make it smooth, make it level, and prepare it for
paving.
So
that's the goal, and there are several different ways. And look, the best place to go is to go online and to go to the website. It's a great website with lots of information on the website. It's magnoliameridian.com. All kind of information on there. Very good information. A lot of people don't know the cemetery. We got folks in there like G.V. Sonny Montgomery.
Famous folks.
The Key brothers, who still have the record for the suborbital longest flight. You got singer-songwriter Paul Davis. I mean, not to mention then the personal ties that all of us have. My parents are buried there. My grandparents are buried there. I have great grandparents buried there. And I'm sure there are a lot of other people, who have family members there. And we want to have that place to be, nice for years to come. And so this is a good first step toward that. And so I want to encourage people to go to the website. There is a tab on there where you can see about how to donate. And the money is going, you send it or do it online or send a check. It's going through the Community Foundation for East Mississippi. So
there it is.
Oh, look
right
at you!
there.
Look at you, man! You just all over it. So it's that way you know exactly where your money's going. There's no nobody walk up and hand me $20. Okay, I appreciate it and all, but this is the best mechanism. Send a check, and all that information is on the website, and it talks about the plan that's been established and the folks that are on the board that are trying to get this accomplished. And I know there are going to be people who say, "Well, wait a minute. What about that perpetual fund? Why don't they pay for it out of that?" Well, it just doesn't have enough money for that. We also want to be able to have the grass cut and to do other minor repairs like to the building there, the things that the fund was actually set up to do.
And they can use like the interest off of that money. You can't just dive off into that account and get the
money out. Yeah, Jay Crane owns the cemetery, so it's not a public. It's not like the county owns it or the city. It's it's privately
that was my
owned.
next question.
And so Jay's been he's been real important in this integral to this whole thing and working with everybody to try to figure out how to do this. He wants long term for this cemetery. It's 125 years old. And long term, he wants to make sure that we've taken steps today so that it can be, there's still a lot of space out there. It's going to be used for years and years. And so really do want to try to, instead of waiting until it gets to absolutely deplorable where you can't, we have to shut the road down because the holes are too big.
Right.
We don't want to get there. And so, so we're at a point now where we need everybody's help is what we need. We need folks to...
y'all come together and help. If you've got $20, $25, go on this website, hit the donation one time or multiple times, but help out. Like you said, everybody's got a loved one there. All right. We'll be right back.
While everyone is getting ready for Thanksgiving, family, and football, there's an important runoff election coming up on November the 26th. I'm Jennifer Branning. It's time to bring new energy in a new generation of constitutional conservative leadership to the Mississippi Supreme Court. In this election, there's a difference. I'm the only candidate with legislative and courtroom experience, and I'm the only candidate endorsed by the Mississippi Republican Party. I ask for your vote for Supreme Court the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. And welcome back. We are the morning show as we get your day started. 7:24 on this bright and early morning. 53 outside as we wait for a high of only about 67-ish today.
Boy, it feels good.
Nice weather. As we were talking with the sheriff a moment ago, if you want to go to the website again, let's pull that back up to where I have never been, and I've passed by it many times. I've never been deep in there. I've just pulled over in front.
Pretty good ways back over the top of the hill, and
there's not an exit on the other end.
No, you're only seeing about maybe a third of it at the top of that hill, something like that. Maybe closer, between a third and a half. It's an important landmark in our community. And I saw one of the comments there was, you can tell a lot about a restaurant by a bathroom. You can tell a lot about a city by their cemeteries, and that makes sense. And it's a part of our community, and it's a part that people see.
Well, you brought this up, and I was looking at the website. Let's pull this up for everybody. Look at this. As you brought up some of the famous people from Meridian that are buried there. Governor of Mississippi.
Montgomery, the Key brothers, who had, world renown when it come to aeronautics. I mean, they did in-flight refueling. They did, what was it, around the world?
Well, no, they had the suborbital flight over Meridian in 1935. They were up about 37, 38 days. I'm not exactly sure, but it was a long time. It was a long time. And A.D. Hunter was one of the guys with them. He created the valve that they used for the refueling, that is essentially the same valve that is used today to refuel airplanes.
And that's one reason we got refueling
the mission at the Air National Guard,
and we need to keep that here.
Yeah. So a lot of famous people there, and of course a lot of ties, as I said earlier. So this is one of my little side projects that I've been helping with. Because, believe it or not, I do have a life other than just...
So you don't do sheriff 24/7?
Well, I do. I'm 24/7. Trust me, the phone goes off all the time.
You ride your motorcycle out there to it?
I do.
We hadn't seen you on the motorcycle. That's the reason I brought that
usually
up.
It's only on Sunday morning. I ride to church. Unless if it's going to be 40 degrees or under, I'm just probably not riding. Unless it's going to really warm up quickly. Or if it's even remotely going to rain, I'm not riding. Yeah. That's just kind of my rules.
We can't blame you on that. Earlier this morning, I got in the studio, I think this morning around 3, and a little bit after that, we found out there had been an accident on I-59. This will be on the outskirts, right past the famous curve southbound. We had a truck rollover. Mississippi Highway Patrol and all the volunteers ran out to help with that. Took about an hour. Right there in that curve is about where it happened, right there as you're coming into town. So it's all cleaned up now, but there could be, how debris gets left sometimes. Watch that as you're leaving town in case you bump into a little bit of all of that. Let's see what else went on last night. We had another accident. This would be near East Mississippi State Hospital last night. And this is what gets me. And Ward, you deal with this a whole lot. Someone has a wreck. There was an accident with injuries there, and then one person drives off. And that's what happened last night. I do think that they were caught a few blocks away later. But there's always a reason somebody does that.
Either they don't have insurance, they know they're the ones that created the crash, they have outstanding warrants. As you said, there's usually something along those lines that happens. And it's unfortunate because, of course, many years ago, sold insurance, and you'd have people say, "I don't want uninsured motorist property damage. I don't need that." You're going to need it even with our compulsory automobile insurance law, because you have people who are not going to be responsible, who are not going to insure their cars, or they don't have enough insurance. A lot of people don't think about that either. It's not just uninsured, but it's underinsured too. So you could have a large claim and they don't have enough coverage, and your insurance would also.
With what Ward means by that, because this was brought up when we were sitting here before we went live talking about cows. A car nowadays, it is nothing to hear of a car costing $75,000 to $86,000, and that could be a pickup truck now. It's not. I don't know what happened, but $20,000 is not going to do anything now.
Repairs, the cost of repairs are just through the roof. Unfortunately, we see that with our vehicles. It doesn't take much these days to have a $5,000 crash.
Yeah,
easily.
And if you have the airbags go off, it's pretty much a total car now, isn't it?
Exactly.
And Bob,
right.
Why does Bob always come up? Bob says unclaimed cows don't have insurance either.
Yeah,
Literally, I am just in awe of what it costs these days with that. So just keep it in mind. It's always good to have a second clunker sitting around in the yard as a backup mobile to use there. Just wow.
In case yours has to
be towed from the scene.
It's a little soon for that, Odie.
I can't let him. I don't want him to forget.
I don't think he's going to.
I don't know if y'all have seen this yet, but Philadelphia Police Department, the city has put out a wanted. Now, the pictures are bad. They can't help what they've got due to its... And if you own a business, buy as good a cameras as you can to help the police. Here's what we have at this point. These guys entered a business in Philadelphia with baseball bats, broke the window out, went in and broke the cases in the store, took what they wanted. But you can't tell much more than this. Now, is there somebody that Mike could recognize from this that knows them? There's a possibility. But they took a lot of stuff there from Philadelphia. Call Eric if you happen to know anything he'd like to hear from you, so we can get those folks responsible for that.
You know, one of the things that when I have opportunity and talk with business owners is not just the inside of the store, but outside of the store. Having your parking lot around the corners, having cameras there, because while you may not be able to see much from that, as you said, somebody's going to know who these individuals are. They've seen them that day, or they've seen them get out of a car close by. And if you have cameras outside and other businesses around you, it helps to at least get a car description. Then you start, that certainly helps in working these kinds of cases, or really any kind of case where you've got somebody, because you got something to work with in terms of an automobile to start tracking down. We were looking at some numbers and talking yesterday in a staff meeting about and thinking through about, for us, our burglaries have been down. And I think a lot of that has been the fact that there are so many cameras out there now, and that we get almost everything we're working these days, there's a camera of some kind, not all of them, but way more today than 5 years ago. And so that kind of information is so helpful in starting to have something to work with. Because, a lot of times you hear about these armed robberies that happen at 2 a.m. at a convenience store. They come running around a corner. They've got, look like the picture, hoodies on, gloves on, socks on their hands, whatever. You're not even sure, male, female, black, white, or you don't have a clue.
Right.
Unless the clerk's able to give you some information. You really don't have much to work with.
Which brings back my next subject, as he says that. Mr. Mayor, let's make Fifth Street great again. Let's put cameras back on Fifth Street. Fifth Street and Meridian, each side of this is crime-ridden. I cannot tell you how many times I go. I can't imagine how many times the Meridian Police Department goes to that area at this point on calls that I don't even know about. But we need more cameras in those areas to help with this. These clerks, and I know that too, and I know it's not in the county, the city handles these, but we've had 2 clerks that were struck pretty hard, had to be transported to the hospital. We don't need this kind of stuff. We need better cameras and ways for the police department to find out more information to get those responsible. Which way they ran, as you put outside stores, around stores, and prone areas where crime is going to happen.
Well, houses around that area too, if you want to help. And they're not expensive. I've got cameras all around mine. And if something, doesn't have to be a person, if a deer or a dog goes in front of my camera, I get an alert on my phone. And I can go pull it up and look. And I can either call 911 and say, hey, I need somebody that's breaking in my house. If I wanted to, I could sit there and talk to them. Like that poor insurance man that was measuring my yard, and I forgot I asked him to come out there. And I know y'all seen this.
I know y'all seen this in town. These portable CUI has these set up.
Yes.
Y'all seen those cameras?
Yes.
That little thing that's blinking blue. CUI offers those. They help businesses. You can even have them come out and put cameras in your home, and then it'll record it, and there's a backup of it at their business also.
Well, that's what was the name of the business? Academy Sports. While it was being built and they had a lot of their equipment sitting out front, they had that unit that was recording everything on that scene, and they could go back and look if something came up missing. And it's portable. Go anywhere you need.
I've always had neighbors, and neighbors would call neighbors when they see things. Well, now we're seeing that even with the cameras, where neighbors are able to go drive down the road and get additional information if somebody's around someone's house, that they get an alert for. So I think it's a little bit of a crime deterrent. I think that's helping, and it certainly is helpful in us attempting to solve crimes. So they really are worth, the money to invest in. And like Odie said, they're not that, most of these systems are not that expensive. It takes a little bit to set some of them up. Now, if you're challenged a little bit with that, find a 3 or 4 year old, give them your phone. They'll be able to figure out, how to set the camera system up for you. But it is, cameras in and of themselves, they are a tool. You got to have the people, who are going to be able to respond, and people who are going to be able to take that and use that tool, sometimes with a lot of other tools, to help us to help them to solve our crimes in our community.
That's right.
We have it all the time, and we don't now. We literally could have a person who that's kind of what they worked on
all day,
because and sometimes you just have information overload too. It's just more. Because a lot of times with cameras, if you don't know an exact time, you got to start watching video.
I've seen that done.
That
God
takes a
bless
while.
them. God bless them.
So
we'll be right back. More on the way with Sheriff Ward Calhoun as we begin your Wednesday.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota of Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
And welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. I know the sheriff has got another engagement that he's got to go to, but as we talk about the cemeteries, while you stopped by this morning of helping out with that, I was sitting here glancing at this of just the veterans that are buried there as we look here at the pictures. Yeah. And this cemetery has been here forever as we look at this.
Yeah, 1899. And to begin with, when it was first established, it was on the edge of town then at the time. And it, of course, started having burials. And those weren't part of the perpetual care at that point in time. It was later on in its history. I don't know the exact date, but probably 1920s or 30s when that kind of got set up then. So you've got a lot of graves that, are still being taken care of that actually there was no, it wasn't designed for that. But neither here nor there. We're going to make great strides to make Magnolia Cemetery way better than it is today, and we need the community's help. If everybody that had a family member just sent in $50 or $100, it wouldn't take very long for us to raise the money to get the first phase finished in February and then come back. And, we're talking about other ways of raise funds. Somebody suggested that we get the Lima director to get tased, like every, for $500 somebody could tase him. We've talked about different things.
I'll donate $50 out of that.
We got to raise that money.
What we got to do,
Well, Sheriff, thank you for coming by. And again, the website is magnoliameridian.com. If you'd like to go there to find out more, bump into you, be glad to tell them on the street of where to go to on that.
Certainly.
You just don't need $5 put in your pocket. It looks suspicious.
Not taking any cash.
The sheriff's got a bribe.
No white envelopes.
I bet there'll be cameras catching it. Well, somebody.
Honest, it was for the cemetery.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by and giving us that.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the time. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Sheriff Ward Calhoun taking care of us this morning. We do appreciate him stopping by and visiting with us. As we begin this day, it's already Wednesday, as we said, and, well, Odie, where did it go? I got to get to it. We got to get to our this day and this moment in history.
Oh, man, look at here.
We got a few things that happened on the day. What day we begin with. Let's go back to 1925. This guy was born. We've got somebody that might be headed back to the White House that's kind of kin to him.
Well, Yeah.
Y'all remember him?
Oh, Robert himself.
Robert F. Kennedy was born on this day back in 25. It would be 1968 that we would lose him in the hotel lobby, if y'all remember. Happened just a little bit before I was born, but man, what a moment in our history.
This cat right here.
Was he not? Tom,
your turkey.
As we go back to Franklin Cover was born on this date. And of course, you remember him as Tom, and he was married to Helen on The Jeffersons.
Yeah, he did some westerns, and that's about.
Did he?
He did a couple
I didn't
of them.
realize
I've seen,
that.
I think, cameos, and then The Jeffersons, and I don't remember seeing him in much more than that.
He's just one of those characters that you can't imagine, like the skipper. I know that he was on Gunsmoke, but that's what you see when you see the man. That part was meant for him. This man was just meant for ladies, I think. He would be sued.
Kissed enough of him.
He would be sued out of his britches today. Richard Dawson was born on this day back in 32, and you'll also remember he got his start there back at Hogan's Heroes.
That's it. Yes, he did.
I don't remember Richard Dawson being in anything other than those two. It could
Just
be,
that.
but I don't know of them.
Oh, he made enough money off Family Feud. He didn't have to do nothing else.
Somewhere today in Washington, somebody's going to get a piece of birthday cake.
He won't remember it.
He may not. He's still going to get it.
Ice cream. Does he have ice cream?
Joe Biden, the president, the current president, has a birthday today, born back in 42. That's as much as we can tell you about that. No word yet if Kamala is coming to the birthday cake cutting.
Yeah, she probably won't be there.
I'm hearing that it's some tension.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I'd be upset too. They chunked him out of office. 1946, all them Allman Brothers.
Oh, man.
Anybody remember Dwayne?
Yeah.
Born on this date back in 1946. They were a Southern legend, so to speak, the Allman Brothers.
The Allman Brothers.
There's Fire on the Mountain. I like that song a whole lot there.
Match Game. Richard was on the Match
Yeah,
Game.
he was there.
I'll be darned.
I live in hotels. I tear out the
You can
walls.
hardly hear me. Maybe I'm not talking.
How about that? How about I turn that back on?
Oh, and like I'm saying something, he's done had my microphone off.
Wrong, that was my fault. Thought I turned the share off.
We're back. Oh, okay. So I was having to talk louder.
Anybody remember Joe Walsh? As I said, live in hotels, tear out the walls. Boy, I like them.
I did, and I loved that song. I don't know why, but that was one of my favorite songs.
What was it? My Maserati does 185.
185.
I lost my license.
Now I can't drive. I rent to hotels, tear out the walls. I have my accountants pay for it all.
That's what it was. Something about I have an office with gold records on the wall.
Yeah.
Just that was good. Liked it a whole lot. This next guy, I think it was. I remember him from License to Drive. I think he was the dad in that movie. He also was a boyfriend on what's her name? Snyder's show. Daytime. One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time. That's right.
Y'all remember this guy, Richard? I can't pronounce his last name. Guy.
Masaurus, I reckon.
Yeah.
Is that Corey? Who is that? This guy
that's
right
that
there.
Corey guy. License to Drive.
License to Drive. Okay.
Remember the 1972 turquoise Cadillac that was his granddaddy's?
Yeah.
Get squished.
That red one, wasn't it?
Boy, it was turquoise.
Yeah, life's been good to me so far.
Like that a whole lot. What's going on over here? We got a lot of things going on.
Let's hope we don't have anything. Corey Feldman, that's right, Corinne. Thank you for doing that. I couldn't remember his name. He was in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of that One Day at the Time. Snyder always had those cigarettes rolled up in his hand. Corey Haim.
We got a fire in Preston right now. Breaking news
Preston.
as we go to this. On Randy Road, units are arriving there right now. The post road north of Preston. So y'all, if you're in that area there, in the
Be careful on your way to work.
400 block of Randy Road in the Preston area, there is a fire. Y'all keep that in mind.
Yeah, be with that family.
There we are there. All right, let's see what else we had happen today. I know you remember this
Gonna
song.
rock around the clock tonight.
Y'all remember him?
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Haley, wasn't it?
I believe you're right. I believe you're right.
I think Bill passed away of a heart attack in his 50s, if I remember right.
What you call that big bass guitar right there? What's that called?
Overgrown violin.
One overgrown pills and see what happened to it, didn't you?
It's got a name, and Odie and I.
Ococello or something like that.
It could be.
Something I don't remember.
Anybody that ever had a kid that took band that toted that around, and you had to put that in the back of your car,
you had to put it on top.
They wanted this poster to sell like Farrah. It failed miserably.
Yeah.
She didn't have the, what's the word I'm looking for?
The spunk. Well, here's the one thing. Her hair.
The beads, is that what y'all?
Yeah, and that
you got to have Farrah hair.
You got to have Farrah hair. When this came out, and I just don't think that it piqued interest. A cello. Thank y'all.
There you
cello.
go. Yeah.
I just don't think that it made her look good.
Well, you had Daisy and you had Farrah, who I would say is fiddles, and this might be a violin, maybe. Is that a good comparison?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they did try to produce this. No one has ever outsold that Farrah.
No, not going.
Bo Derek was born in 56, and that movie was 10, and I never watched it. Yeah. All I can remember is the scene on the beach, right there, her running down it, and that was it. I don't know what it was about or what was going on. I don't think anybody really cared, did they?
Nobody cared. Dun, 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 dun.
Boy, this is good stuff. Somewhere somebody's eating one of these right now and remembering him. And if you weren't careful, you'd still swear he's still alive because they still use his voice.
It's like they were the first ones to really do this AI.
Yeah.
Because they took his voice and they put it on every single commercial out there.
And he would end up being the biscuit guy. But before the biscuits came along, he would be on the radio and he would be singing Big Bad John. As you go back for Jimmy Dean. It was today, number one in 1961. Can y'all believe that?
Man.
At the bottom of this mine lies a big, big man. Big John.
Big, big John.
I love that song. It told a story, a mountain of a man. Come from Louisiana. Loretta Lynn got framed today. She released the song Rated X. Now, this is also about the time that she was releasing the song The Peel. She was really on the cutting edge of what was going on back in the day. As we go back to remember Loretta, that's it. There it is from the 1970 there. And it was talking about being divorced. You didn't do that back in the late 60s.
Oh, no. And if you didn't both agree, you just didn't get a divorce. A lawyer didn't
and then
take
she
you in
went
front
to
of a
hang around that old boy named Conway. Next thing you know, he was singing about You've Never Been This Far Before.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Dierks Bentley, he went through a cornfield. We all know that. He was born back in 75 on today.
1975, young feller.
Yeah. 1972, a press conference was held today because a big concert was coming up. Anybody remember that? November 20th there. Elvis talked about the upcoming Aloha from Hawaii. It was going to be in 73. Still remember that as a kid, that Jeep riding out and Elvis throwing those lays.
I wasn't worried about TV at that time. I was just sitting in the playpen.
I remember it well. I mean, our TV was black and white. Mm-hmm. You couldn't see, but it was the satellite thing. That's all they talked about, live via satellite from Hawaii.
I was a year old, so I didn't care.
And at that point in time, I think that wasn't I right, the most watched event ever in television history with Elvis doing that?
Probably like you know, when you call in, when you call in and just do a press conference, that probably was the most viewed press conference of anything.
Old boy was studying Hank Williams in Nashville. Book by book at the library, and it just come to him out of the blue. It was called Long Black Train. He was born on this day, Josh Turner, back in 77.
That was a good song.
Yeah, I like that a whole lot. War is hell on the home front, too. God only knows what a woman goes through. She still needs, and we'll stop there.
Yeah.
T.G. Shepherd had a number one today. Cliff War is hell.
Oh, T.G. He was a weird-looking fellow.
He thought he was a ladies' man. He showed that hairy chest there for years there and scared everybody else. He was in Meridian quite a bit there for a while. Let's see here. Randy Travis, y'all remember him? 1985, released 1982. Operator, if y'all remember that. Good stuff. It doesn't get any better than that with Randy Travis there. Bigger Than the Beatles, Joe Diffie. Anybody remember that from 95? She's Gotta Love. I like Joe Diffie. It's so hard to believe that. Yeah. In 2013, well, here with the Freedom. You remember this? Loretta got this today.
I remember that.
And we've lost her now. What a day, what a day. It's good to remember her. We also had somebody arrested.
We talked about the home invasion. Well, it really wasn't a home invasion, a home investigation.
Yes, sir.
Monday?
Yep.
Maybe.
And then today, it was an arrest made back in 13 there. What a mugshot.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. We won't
At least
give
they let him keep his nose on.
I'm going to skip this next one I was going to talk about. I'm just going to let that one go there back in 14 there. We'll leave that one alone there.
Yeah, that'll work.
But coming up, we've got so much more to tell you about as we get this morning underway. We've had a great time, and we want your birthday's anniversary. If you haven't gotten that to us yet, we would love to hear from you on that.
Yeah, bring that on in, because right now we've got Stephanie Brooks having a birthday and Parker Skipper's having a birthday. And we hadn't got any more, so if you've got one, or your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, one of them, give us a call, let us know.
Don't forget, this is coming up in Meridian. The ballet is coming up. The Magnificent is going to be November the 26th, next Tuesday, at the Temple Theater. Doors will open at 6. Show begins at 7 o'clock. Lots of great seats left. You can prance around and see them do that on their tippy toes there.
Yeah, I can watch it, but I ain't going to try it.
We're trying to get Odie fitted for a leotard now.
I'm going to do one of them men in tights scene.
There you go. But visit it. It'll be at the Temple Theater next Tuesday. Tickets are available at the box office. Drop in and see them. We'll be right back.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
All right, y'all come on out and see us at J&J Used Cars, Highway 19 South in the Southeast community. We right up the hill from the red light. Wide variety, nice quality used cars. Got 4-door Z71s. Hey, Christmas gonna be here before you know it. Wife, daughter, they will get you off your feet and back in the street. Right here at J&J Used Cars on Highway 19 South, Meridian.
Well, when it comes time to buy a house, Snowden and Company is there for you. Where you're buying or selling, it's easy after you go here. Virtual tours. Look at this as you go there. You can just take a tour of any home that they've got here. It'll go inside and around any way you want to look at that. Plus, the listings there as well. You pop this, it's this quick. It pops up of homes that are available around. Go see them today. If you're looking for land, they've got that. And we've joked about the no flag on the pole.
Yeah,
Bring
but
your own
it comes
flag.
with a pole.
That's right. Here's your home right here, located at the 2600 block of 52nd Street in Meridian. And again, it's easy to go through and take a look at the inside of a home and see if that's the one you're looking for. It shows you a little bit about everything that they've got. That's just one of the many, many homes that's available there at Snowden and Company. Visit them today. She'll help you out there. There's the number, 453-3937. Drop in and visit with them. And again, if you need your place, the most money can be gotten for it. Talk to them about selling your property.
Curb
Maybe you need something
appeal.
big. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They can tell you what needs to be done before you put it on the market.
Rake those leaves.
Man, I tell you, they're some of the nicest people.
It is. It is.
They are really nice.
Let's see, as we move along with things that are going on, we had a boo-boo in Philadelphia yesterday. Did you? And what an eerie place to have a boo-boo.
Yeah, it is.
This was near the cemetery in Philadelphia, a rollover accident. Now, this is where you take that
It doesn't look like it's near. It looks like it's in it.
It possibly could be. Ruh-roh. But this is that shortcut that you take there at, where you take a left to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
The back way near Weyerhaeuser is where that would happen at. I don't think there were any major injuries with it, but still there. Also, I-50, I-20 yesterday afternoon. And this is what happens when that rain. Watch this, these lanes that are uneven. Here's a perfect example of that. Alabama State Troopers, this was right there at the state line. That happened yesterday. A lot of that went on, so be cautious. And another big thing that is coming to Meridian that we wanted to remind you of, Julie and all the gang at the Arts Community Event Society, that girl, they're helping put on the Hurricane Relief Program. It's going to be Thursday night beginning at 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, that is tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow night, 5 to 9. Look, this is going to be great. Everybody that's there, Garrett, Southern Drive, Sneaky Tree, the Palindromes, every one of them are great. Own style of music. You can't beat it. Go down. Everybody's going to be there, so you might as well go down there, too, and be a part of this.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
What's the music you got there?
That's so I'll know what phone's going off.
I don't know anything that went on last night. You'd have to give me a little bit. Lola was wanting to know, do I know what happened in Newton last night? I had to have a little bit more into that so we can dig into it.
I know we were spending all night trying to put dive equipment together. You wouldn't come help us.
No, I watched what y'all were doing, and I decided it was time for me to leave. Exit the building quick there. Have y'all heard about this? There's an investigation going on, and what is the guy that is Jim Jordan?
Jim Jordan.
And I saw Jim asking questions about this, and what I mean is the FEMA of the girl that was skipping houses that had Trump signs in front of it. She says that it's much deeper, that she was given this information by someone above her. Now, the FEMA director, who has not talked to anybody, as he was asking her, he goes, have you talked to these people? No. So you've got a team of people and you hadn't talked to anybody. The girl that is accused of skipping the house that sent out the text says that she was told way above her pay grade to do that by somebody else.
If there was a Trump sign in the yard,
skip it.
Skip it.
Politics cannot play into, if it had a Barack Obama, if it had a Joe Biden, if it had a Jimmy Carter sign in the yard, it doesn't matter. It needs to be held. You need to be checking on that. We don't need politics into people that are hurt in our nation. That's what we love. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Welcome back. As we wind down a Wednesday morning with you, I'm double checking to make sure we have any more updates on the fire that was in Preston. We're checking on that to see what we know about that at this point. Again, that happened this morning on Randy Road in Preston, Mississippi, a fire.
Man, fires change a family's life, and prayers for them. Did you? And I apologize for having to get up and run over there. Did you say our thoughts and prayers going out with
No, I had
Dan
not.
Boyd? You know, y'all, everybody stepped up and helped donate with his wife's cancer needs and donating to his cause. And our prayers go out with the family.
Love you to death, brother.
Yeah, keep him. He's been there for every one of us with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, and now again he needs us to be with him.
There's a story that, and I'm not even going to keep it on the screen because I don't want to lose my composure over this. There's things that happen in this world that we don't understand, and somewhere around 3:20 this morning, I literally had my stomach churn. And it makes me want to cry to even talk about it. How anybody could do this, Odie? A 9-year-old little girl died in America. A neighbor gave her some food and sent her back home. Those horrible, horrible parents super glued her mouth shut and she died. I don't know what to say. I can't even talk about it. That upset me. I'm going to have to let you finish this because
you've got men and women. You've got people starting their lives and they want to have their own family. But they can't, for medical reasons or whatever else, they can't have their own children. And they do what they can because they really want to have a family of their own, and they end up adopting to try and raise some. And then you have parents, and you hate to say parents, and you hate to say a mama and daddy, but have kids and do this. When you take God's creation, because God gave you that child to raise, that is God's child, that you have your hands of protection on, and then you go as far as super gluing this child's mouth shut and to end all nourishment. There's a cold day in hell.
Yeah,
for
that
you
is.
When you meet your Maker. And I tell you, this is the toughest situation.
That shook me to no end. It did. That somebody could do that.
To your own child, to any child, but the one you helped bring in this world, part of you, 50% you, and you allow that to happen. I've got some things that I think would be satisfactory until she does meet the main judge up there that I can't say on this program.
But it shook me to no end, and I apologize for getting so upset, but it did. It did.
No, it shows your compassion. It shows that you truly do have feelings for these people, and you have feelings for the stories that you put on, and you talk about the hard stuff. People need to know what kind of evil is in our world today. Satan is strong, and we need God more than ever. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Well, as we wind up, we want to say thank you for each and every one of you joining us. We appreciate it every single day. And we hadn't done birthdays yet. I know we need to do that.
We had two come in. Mona Simpson's having a birthday, and Stephanie Freeman's got a birthday. And I think that's all that we've seen that came in. So just the 4 today. So hope y'all have a wonderful day. And we hate leaving you with the bad news, but we want y'all to think. And now that we brought that bad news up and we're talking about God, Isaiah 9 verse 2, the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light, that they dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. I know one thing, I have walked in the pits of hell. I have been there myself, and I know the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ plucked me out of that hole and has entered my heart and has forgiven me of my sins, and he can do the same thing for you, and he can do the same thing for these people. We hope that you have a wonderful day. We hope you invite Christ into your heart, because he can pick you up no matter where you are and give you the peace that only our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ can give. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursday. Friday's coming. Hang in. Remember, until then, we love you.